Hello, everyone. It is Steph. We are continuing our conversation around Profit First, Mike Michalowicz's book. And this week, I want to talk about two different concepts that he offers that are related to one another. So, one is the idea of having multiple bank accounts, and the other is the small plate theory. Okay. So, in his book, Mike recommends having 5 different accounts, and I wrote them down so I would remember them. Have 5 bank accounts for income, profit, owner's compensation, taxes, and operating expenses. And the theory is that by constricting everything, like income becomes just a holding center for everything that comes into the business, but you are routinely pushing that money out into different bank accounts to make it very clear that income might initially look this big, but once you account for your profit, your compensation, your taxes, and you're trying to restrict your operating expenses, you become much more aware of how quickly the money gets spent in all the different directions that it heads out in. So it's the life cycle of cash coming in and out of your business. So the idea is by having multiple accounts, you're actually preventing leaks. And I see businesses leak money all the time. So this just makes it very clear so you are acutely aware of how the money is being spent so that you can make better choices around it, especially with operating expenses. So the small plate theory is, and I'm sure many of us have heard of this, when you are trying to lose weight and you need to restrict your calories compared to how you're accustomed to eating, everyone encourages you to use a smaller plate. So instead of a big dinner plate, you're eating off of a salad plate, thereby cutting your calories, thereby helping you lose weight. And his theory, Mike's theory, is that by setting up these accounts and seeing your income shrink by virtue of having to distribute it and serve these, multiple masters, it makes it easier to make better decisions and cut down on wasteful spending, just like wasteful calories. So I used to be very bad at this. I am a reformed spender. And one thing that really helped me over the years was setting up multiple accounts for the things that were important to me. So I want to be very transparent about the fact that I don't do everything exactly the profit first way. I don't have these exact accounts set up, but I do have accounts set up for my income, for emergency savings, for like house repairs and maintenance, and then for vacation fund. So I started accounting for different buckets, in my life that need to be served because honestly, my particular business is very, very simple. The expenses are straightforward. My spending has, been contained. Um, I don't have a lot of complexity to my business. So it's easy for me to see how money moves in and out of it. I'm very aware of it. Where I tended to overspend was in my personal life and not in my business. And so I set something up like this with categories that made sense for my objectives. And it really helped me curtail my wasteful personal spending. And I used to think that money management equaled deprivation. And I don't think that way anymore because the more disciplined I am with certain choices, the more I see my fund money grow. And so now it's almost become a game. If I go without this little impulsive wish list thing, I get more money in my vacation fund, or I get more money in my patio fund because I want to build a nice patio. And so those things are really important to me. And so these little things that used to have so much meaning to me and made me feel like I had more control or I was getting rewards, I've been able to let those go and funnel them into more long-term and far more satisfying projects. So this is all to say that when you're reading these self-improvement books and whatnot, take the nuggets that speak to you and translate them in a way that it's meaningful to you and it's sustainable for you. If income, profit, owner's compensation, taxes, operating expenses, if that makes sense for your business because your business has a lot of complexity and it's very easy to leak money, then yes, I encourage you to try adopting Mike's methodology. If you're like me and you're a solopreneur and it's very obvious where the money is cycling in and out of the business, but it's in your personal life that you're leaking funds, then try something else in this spirit that works for you and makes it easy for you to save and accomplish the things that are more meaningful to you than the $20 here and the $20 there and the 20. I've $20 myself to death over the years. I probably could have retired. So this is all to say, really look at the small plate theory and don't look at it as necessarily a restriction or something that is inhibiting your empowerment, but it's giving you knowledge and structure to achieve the things that are most important to you. So I hope that's helpful to you, and we'll continue this conversation in a couple of weeks. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.